Hello, this is Reverend Angelia with today's Bible reading. Today's reading comes from Philippians 4, Exhortations. I plead with Euodia and I plead with Syntyche to agree with each other in the Lord. So even back then, we were having divisions amongst the believers. Yes, and I ask you, loyal yoke fellow, because we're all under, the yoke of Christ. Help these women who have contended at my side in the cause of the gospel. So here, Paul, remember earlier before talking about the women. Well, now he's admitting here and saying, these women, have come along with him in the cause of the gospel. So, are you people who say, not biblical to have a woman minister, woman deacon? Paul started out saying that. Now, he's not saying that. He's saying, that these women were with him for the cause of the gospel. Yeah. Okay. Along with Clement and the rest of my fellow workers. So, see, they had these women, traveling with them also to do the work of the gospel. So there you are. If you're sexist and you want to pull out a verse or two, you can find. But here's the reality. That's not what Jesus said. And Paul changed his mind later on because he was a very Jewish man, and that was a tradition of Jewish men. But later on, he came to realize that's not necessarily how it's supposed to be. Whose names are in the book of life. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again. Rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. So see, we're to be happy. We're not to be angry, hateful little people. We're to be happy and rejoicing, and to be gentle. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything. And that's a problem in today's society. I mean, just the political system has got all of America anxious. Because the one side is like, oh, these people are going to do this, and the other side is like, oh, these people are going to do this. So anxiety is just riddled through our society today, and it shouldn't be that way. Personally, I think they should do away with political parties, but that's just my opinion. But in everything, by prayer and petition, and I think that sometimes people forget that we have that power of prayer and petition, because who's in charge ultimately? The ruler of the universe, not us, not any politicians. He is in charge, With thanksgiving, we're supposed to be thankful for what we have. I think that's a problem too with a lot of people, just not thankful and grateful for what they have. Present your requests to God. A lot of people like to stew, and just wallow in their misery instead of taking the burden to God and leaving it to Him. I've done that many times. God, this is too big for me. You know the truth. You know what's going on. I give it to you. Because it's too big for me. And the peace of God. Remember, He gives peace. Not like the world gives peace. Like He gives peace. Which transcends all understanding. Will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So if you start taking your stuff to God, and praying that He watch out for you, He will guard your heart and mind. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. So these are things we're supposed to be thinking about. Whatever is true. And now we have this problem, fake news, all this stuff. And, someone fact checked something that I shared. It was just a story about, something that happened. And it was a fake story. And I'm like, why would someone make that up and then put it out there? Why? That doesn't, I mean, that's just low. That's low life, in my opinion. And whatever is noble, see, being of noble character, being a decent person, that's important. Whatever is right, versus what's wrong. Whatever is pure, like the purity, of Jesus or a little child before the world starts ruining it, Whatever is lovely, because God created the world and He created lovely things. He created rocks and streams and flowers, you know. Whatever is admirable, people who do things we admire. If anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. So those are the things we're supposed to be thinking about, not all the other garbage. Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. That's all for now. Until next time.